Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya,
Shri Krsna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya, Shri Krsna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya,
Shri Krsna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya, Shri Krsna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Dayanya.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Paramahamsa Rama,
Haribol. Everybody sing loud, Haribol.
Paramahamsa Rama, Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Haribol. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Hari Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Lord Chaitanya. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate. So, I'd like to reiterate something. Sa buhay natin, every day, what we do is connected and influenced by the modes of material nature. So, when we are engaging in the chanting of the holy names and reading the scriptures, the Word of God, it is a great opportunity for us to focus. So stop muna nyo lahat yung cellphone nyo, everything, because it will help you come to the point of understanding and realizing and be connected with what you're longing for, the search for happiness. So in Kali Yuga, sa age ng Kali Yuga and our situation now, those who are very fortunate, ibig sabihin swerte masyado, you come in contact with the mission of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. And in this age of Kali Yuga, yung process is the Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy names of God. So ngayon I'll read something here connected with giving us a clear understanding of what we are into or what we're doing. So Lord Chaitanya is the most magnanimous. Ibig sabihin nun, mapagmahal, mapagbigay. He opens the door wherein we can enter to taste what we're longing for, this transcendental relationship of loving service to the Supreme Person. Prior to coming in contact sa mission ni Lord Chaitanya, ang mundo natin ay ang mind natin. Yung mind natin, lahat kayo dito. And it's conditioned by the modes of material nature. It's all about material enjoyment, material security. Kaya we are not able to experience this happiness within our heart. It's like a desert. Alam yung desert? Desert, there's no water. But we, all of us, we're in this desert world. And yung focus natin sa buhay ay about a search. Yung endeavor natin, focus upon this dead material energy, a different energy from us. Is it clear sa inyo? Klaro sa inyo? Klaro sa iyo? Okay? So ang punto kong gusto sabihin, si Lord Krishna, si Lord Chaitanya is very magnanimous. He distributes what we're longing for, a relationship wherein we can be loving God through the process that is giving. It is the holy names of God. When we speak of Krishna, the holy names, is all attractive because it is complete. In the material world, 1 minus 1 is 0. Sa spiritual world, hindi ganon. 1 minus 1, 1 pa rin. So, dinescribe yon ng authority ni Lord Brahma kung paano nangyayari yon sa nakita niya, na-perceive niya. Lord Brahma is the spiritual master who passed on this knowledge na naririnig natin ngayon through our spiritual master. So I'll read to you here how merciful Lord Chaitanya is. Kasi sa buhay nyo, tayo lahat, we try to endeavor so hard, okay? So hard to be close with what we think is pleasing to God. Okay? But Lord Krishna Himself comes. He will be the one to drive our life. Yung driving na yon, it's about a relationship of loving service to God. Pinapapasok niya tayo sa mundo na yon. So yung mundo na to, it's beyond the mind. Lahat ng experience nyo sa mind, temporary lang. Lahat ng desire, nasa mind, temporary lang. Hindi pwedeng pumasok yung mind sa realm that is a different energy life. Yung mind, nakikita lang ng mind kung ano yung na-perceive ng senses. Yung na-perceive, yung nakita ng senses nyo. Kaya yun na naging defense natin, naging protection natin sa buhay na to. Eh nasa desert ka, dinescribe dito, ano yung paraan para sa desert maka-experience, you'll experience yung quenching, yung thirst mo, ma-quench, ma-fulfill yung agam-agam mo, makatikim ng tubig. Hindi ka mauhaw. Okay? I'll read this. It's very important to listen carefully because this is how Lord Chaitanya relates to us, how He reveals Himself, and how He wants us to be connected with Him. Okay? O my merciful Lord Chaitanya. So to reiterate something, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna coming to this world, not as the Supreme Person, but as an ordinary person, as a devotee. Okay? Like, He comes as a devotee of God. Okay. Unlike sa pastimes ni Lord Krishna, when He comes with all His army, with all His power, okay? But Lord Chaitanya, who came here, He came here with all His loving servants and His associates. So, in the chanting of the holy names, it is complete. Kaya yung process na binigay sa atin is the Sankirtan. So when you chant the holy names of God, you are associating with all the associates of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. Okay? You are blessed. Okay. Oh, my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges water of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swan, ducks, and bees. The river flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. Our tongues are always engaged in vibrating useless sound that do not help us realize transcendental peace. The tongue is compared to a desert because a desert needs a constant supply of refreshing water to make it fertile and fruitful. Water is the substance most needed in the desert. The transient pleasure derived from mundane topics of art, culture, politics, sociology, dry philosophy, poetry, and so on is compared to a mere drop of water because although such topics have qualitative features of transcendental pleasure, they are saturated with the modes of material nature. Therefore, neither collectively nor individually can they satisfy the vast requirements of the desert-like tongue. Despite crying in various conferences, therefore the desert-like tongue continues to be parched. For this reason, people from all parts of the world must call for the devotees of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya, who are compared to swans swimming around the beautiful lotus feet of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or bees humming around his lotus feet in transcendental pleasure, searching for honey. The dryness of material happiness cannot be moistened by so-called philosophers who cry for Brahman or liberation, and similarly dry speculative objects. The urge of the soul proper is different. The soul can only be solaced only by the mercy of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his many bona fide devotees, who never leaves the lotus feet of the Lord to become imitation Mahaprabhus, but all cling to his lotus feet like bees that never leave a honey-soaked lotus flower. Yung devotee, they are completely in their transcendental, unalloyed, loving, devotional service to the Supreme Person. Okay? They're not like us who try to imitate God, to play Lord. Understand? Is it clear sa inyo? Lord Chaitanya's movement of Krishna consciousness is full of dancing and singing about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. It is compared herein to the pure waters of the Ganges, which are full of lotus flowers. The enjoyers of these lotus flowers are the pure devotees, who are like the bees and the swans. They chant like the flowing of the Ganges, the river of the celestial kingdom. The author desires such sweetly flowing waves to cover his tongue. He humbly compares himself to materialistic persons who are always engaged in dry talk, from which they derive no satisfaction. If they were to use their dry tongues to chant the holy names of Lord Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as exemplified by Lord Chaitanya, they would taste the sweet nectar to enjoy life. Yung living entity tayo, we are always seeking pleasure. Naghanap tayo ng kaligayahan parate. Kaya lang, dahil yung tongue natin, yung binibigkas ng bibig natin ay mundane, material. Maski it's about politics, lahat. Kung titignan nyo, yung activities na ginagawa natin sa pagsasalita, activity ng spirit soul yun eh. Kaya lang, yung activities connected with this material world based upon the influence of the three modes of material nature, of trying to find fulfillment, happiness, yung spirit soul, hindi niya na-experience, ma-quench o mapuno, mawala yung uhaw niya. It's not quench because what comes out of the sound sa tongue niya is mundane, material. Kaya definitely the spirit soul, you, tayo lahat, you are aware. You're a different energy from matter. Kaya matter will not satisfy you. Either sound, gross energy, or subtle energy. Hindi kayo masasatisfy. Kaya ang advice ni Lord Chaitanya, this desert tongue can only be satisfied when we chant the holy names of God. The source of life, the source of pleasure, the source of happiness. And it's simply given to us in this age of Kali Yuga by our spiritual master, the devotee of Lord Chaitanya. Ganun kasimple. Kaya kung kayo, nandito kayo sa training program, even you are hearing here, all what we have to do is accept or direct yung speaking natin, yung chanting natin, how we use the tongue connected with the chanting of the holy names of God. And sa spiritual world, it's described here that all the devotees are enjoying with the Supreme Person, glorifying His pastimes, His world, His happiness. So, yung devotee is simply giving pleasure to God. Although the Supreme Person is complete, He appreciates, He loves, and a relationship that the devotee, in rendering service to please God, is very pleased. Kaya yung devotee, he experienced yung happiness that those who are averse mean disconnected with the source of happiness and life, averse from having a relationship with God because of the contamination of material nature based upon the influence of the modes of material nature. Kaya yung living entity, naging security natin is yung kung ano nakita natin at nagtataka tayo, we're worrying, how come I'm not really fulfilled? Okay. So dito natin makikita na lahat ng process na ginagawa nyo, interconnected. So si Lord Chaitanya, He came to pass on this transcendental sound, non-different from Him, Lord Krsna. And Lord Krsna is all attractive because He's the source of pleasure. He's self-sufficient, and tayo lahat dito, you're not self-sufficient, you're not God. So yung tongue natin, if we chant the holy names, this desert tongue will be experiencing this quench because in reality, absolutely, we need to be connected with the source of pleasure. And that is achieved when we follow the path that Lord Chaitanya is giving us. It is about devotional service. Devotional service is the chanting of the holy names. So Lord Chaitanya, when He came here 500 years ago, He followed the teachings or the tenets ng Scripture. So ano yun? So sabi ni Lord Krsna sa Bhagavad Gita, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master, surrender unto Him, listen, render service. Meaning, you abide, you follow yung instruction ng spiritual master because the instruction ng spiritual master is non-different from his desire, from what he wants. When you listen to the spiritual master, you're listening to Lord Krishna. So now, yung process natin na binigay sa atin, Krishna is so magnanimous, Lord Chaitanya is so magnanimous, and our spiritual master, they're so magnanimous. They're very caring, compassionate. Kaya nga, makikita nyo, yung process interconnected kasi nga, it is about the desire, the will of God. He wants us to be rendering loving service. Kaya binigyan niya tayo ng proseso, but there is one thing that He did not take away from us, and it is about freedom. The choice, okay? You can make a choice. You have a will of your own because you're an individual. Kaya lang, if we misuse this opportunity and this ability natin to make a decision that is connected with what is transcendental or the will of God, and we just gagawin lang natin, sundin natin yung gusto natin according sa dictates ng mind, we will not succeed. Kaya yung buhay natin, laging tayo ang nananagang. Ang ginagawa natin, we engage in activities, gusto natin maging masaya, ayaw natin gumawa ng hindi maganda, pero ang ending, we are forced. Because we are forced to do something we don't like. And nagtataka tayo, walang direction yung buhay natin. Kasi we are guided by the material energy of God, by the three modes. We are driven by desire. And desires are not eternal. And kung yung desire influence ng modes, ang daming desire. Kaya mangyayari nun, you'll be in a situation, you're not very fixed and direct in your, hindi ka focus. Okay? Kaya Lord Chaitanya pass on this transcendental sound, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the great chanting for the deliverance, so we can get out of this desert world. That even though we're in this material world, we will be connected with the source of pleasure and happiness. And that science is the science of devotional service. And what is devotional service? It is about your heart, your life, rendering service to God. It's not anymore your mind. Okay? You, the person. Kaya we have a hard time, mahirap here, nakakaroon ng problema kasi when we tell you something, address something sa inyo, like for example, Govinda Dasi or Radha Dasi or any one of you here. Ang problem, we try to tell you this is what you should do. We're relating to you. But ang problem, what hinders you is your mind. Kaya yung process is to purify the mind. Okay? At how to purify the mind is to redirect the mind. And how can you redirect the mind with your own power? Hindi mo kaya? Kaya nga, sabi ni Lord Krishna sa Bhagavad Gita, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master, listen to him, and the instruction of the spiritual master is based upon his will, his love. Kaya Lord Chaitanya exemplified, he gave us his life's example. Si Lord Chaitanya, God himself, appearing as an ordinary man, he approached his spiritual master. And he was given the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The holy names of God are not different from God. So I like to describe something in terminology, yung meaning. Hare means the energy of God, okay? Rama means the pleasure potency of God. And Krishna means God is the all-attractive supreme person because he possesses all transcendental qualities. Wealth, fame, beauty, compassion, renunciation. So he's very attractive because he's the source of all attractiveness. Tindihan nyo? So how to enter that world? Paano kayo papasok sa mundo na yon? When you are given this opportunity, it means you must relate to God, to Krishna, to our spiritual master, with your heart, with your life. Okay? Not with your mind. Okay? Meaning, you must be very sincere in your heart to introspect and see your situation. It is a virtue, alam nyo kung nasaan kayo. Okay? Alam nyo yung virtue? Para bang, very important, alam nyo kung nasaan kayo. Kung halimbawa, nag-enroll kayo sa Madana, hindi pwedeng tatanungin ka, yung mga bata ba? Kasi may mga bata nag-enroll dito, children, yung parents, syempre lahat ng parents gusto yung anak nila, number 1 eh. No? Oh, bright yan, grade 1 na. Okay? Eh, hindi man ganun yung proseso kasi masin yung Department of Education, meron pa man diyang age bracket, age bracket na pag ano ka na, salimpusa ka lang, ano ka ba? Ano ba yan? Kinder 1, Kinder 2, may ganun pa eh. Okay? May process ba? So, yung process na binigay sa atin ay descending. And it is connected with a relationship that you must be focusing with sincerity. With sincerity kasi you're relating now like you're given the opportunity to listen to our Gurudev. So the spiritual master is the representative of God and the spiritual master is the Lord from within. So Lord Krishna gives us remembrance and forgetfulness. So when He tells us, sabi niya sa atin, just surrender unto me and I'll protect you. So those who are fortunate in this age of Kali Yuga comes in contact with the holy names and they sincerely take shelter of the holy names. Let the holy names take care of you. Let Krishna take care of you. Okay. At that time, the devotee, nakinig siya sa instruction ng scripture. Kasi lahat ng ginagawa natin, it's not mental concoction. It is already an established absolute truth, eternally, that we must approach a spiritual master. And it's exemplified by Lord Krishna's life, Lord Chaitanya's life, and our Gurudev. And the process na pinapalo natin is based upon the disciplic succession coming from Lord Brahma, okay, who is instructed by Lord Krishna through the heart. So ngayon, ang dinidiscuss natin dito, yung situation nyo lahat, tayo nandito ngayon. There's this tree, and there's 2 birds. May puno, 2 ibon nandun, okay? Ikaw. Yung isang ibon, kinakain niya, tinitikman niya yung mga bunga. Okay? Yung isang ibon, nanonood lang sa kanya. That is the Paramatma. He's there, neutral, watching us. So, when Lord Krishna was asked by Arjuna, tinanong niya, how come this science, which was spoken to Bibhashvan and their senior to you, how come you can remember them? Okay? Ang sabi ni Lord Krishna, many birds have passed. Okay? All of them I can remember, but you cannot. God is all-knowing. He knows past, present, and future. But the living entity tayo ngayon, condition ka, ganyan. Alam isip mo, when you leave this body, lahat yan, nakalimutan mo na yan. Okay? Hindi, alimbawa, magaling kang, para lang kung karma mo, alam mo, kagaya nila Beethoven, no? Parang pagpanganak nila, masibingi sila, okay? Kaya nilang, natural lang sa kanila mag-pick up ng violin, alam mo, mag-conduct ng concert. Okay? Karma nila yan eh. Okay? Pero when you leave this body, everything, lahat, you leave it behind. Magsimula ka uli, gumapang, okay? Ligid-ligid sa pupo mo, ihi sa pantalon mo. Kung may pantalon ka, wala ka mang pantalon, diaper, ihi ka. Kung walang diaper, di puno ka ng ihi. Magsisimula ka na naman mag-aral, magsalita. Hindi ABC. Kung pinanganak ka sa China, mag-aral ka ng Mandarin, pinakamahirap na lang na ano. Okay? Okay, panganak ka sa Poland, baliktad yung ano. Alam yung Poland? Sa mga Polish, parang baliktad lahat yung mga letters. Mag-umpisa ka uli. Okay? Then, dahil may material desires ka, you'll continue on pursuing yung desire na yun. You'll be desire-driven. Kasi nasa desert ka eh. Uhaw ka ba? Struggle ka. Then after that, struggle ka, you live again in the desert. But you're still in the desert. So ngayon, when you come in contact with this process, it's like, described doon, alam niyo yung lagoon? Pag yung lagoon, pag yung lagoon, may mga lotus flower, may mga bees na pupunta sa nectar, may mga swan doon, may mga pato, maraming mga ibon. Masaya sila ron. Okay? So yung devotee, nasa ganong environment. Ano lang to analogy, description. So ngayon, pwedeng nandito ka sa material world, nandito ka. Kung hindi ka desire-driven, and you are sincerely taking shelter of the Lord within the heart by following the instruction of your spiritual master, which is Lord Chaitanya exemplified, that the Lord Chaitanya was given instruction ng spiritual master niya. Sabi sa kay Lord Chaitanya ni Isbara Puri, who is the dearmost disciple of Madhavendra Puri, coming in the line of Lord Brahma, sabi niya, because you're less intelligent, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, dahil filial, sumunod siya. Okay? Sinunod niya, ibig sabihin nun, he's submissive, he followed yung instruction ng spiritual master. Pero sa life ni Lord Chaitanya, during the time sa Navadvip, nobody can defeat him in debate, in Shastra. Okay? Even yung disciple ng Goddess of Learning, who, whenever he travels, you know the Goddess of Learning, may disciple siya. Pag pupunta yan, lahat ng mga debater magagaling magsalita, magbabakasyon muna. Dahil takot silang makadebate yung tao na yun. He is the disciple of the Goddess of Learning. Kaya pag dumating siya sa lugar, nakasakay siya sa elepante, malaki, yung elepante hindi ba may upuan? Talagang, nandyan na siya. Parating pa lang siya, yung mga magagaling dyan magdebate, mga philosopher, ay, punta muna tayo sa tita ko o sa may gagawin tayo. Ayaw nila siya. Ang problema, si Lord Chaitanya nandun at nakausap niya si Lord Chaitanya. So nakinig lang si Lord Chaitanya sa kanya. Okay? Nakinig lang si Lord Chaitanya sa kanya. Habang nakikinig si Lord Chaitanya, syempre dahil he's very respectful, okay? And he's very compassionate to this person who is the disciple of the Goddess of Learning. So, ang verses na dinescribe doon, hundreds of thousands of verses sa Vedas. Blah, 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 blah. Tapos sabi sa kanya, nakaupo siya matagal Ba't hindi ka nagsasalita? Hindi ka nagtatanong? Okay? Naintindihan mo ba? Sabi niya, yes, I understand. Then, bakit ka hindi nagsasalita? Kasi may gusto lang akong tanungin sa'yo. Sa verse na sinabi mo, sa dami mong bla 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 bla, anong ibig sabihin nito? Alam mo, hindi niya ma-recall kung ano yung sinabi niya, kung anong verse yun. Sa dami, hundreds of thousands of verses na in-speak niya. Naguluhan siya ngayon. Ba't nawala yung alaala niya? Kasi walang makatalo sa kanya He became arrogant ba? With the wisdom, with the knowledge na meron siya. At yung kausap niya, tinanong lang, saan ba yung sinabi mo sa verse na to, anong meaning nito? Hindi niya masagot. Hindi niya maalala kung ano yung verse na sinabi niya. So nung gabi, nag-pray siya kay Goddess of Learning. Sabi niya, bakit nalagay ako sa sitwasyon na na-defeat ako ng person na to? Okay? Sabi ni Goddess of Learning, you have come in contact with my master, Lord Krishna, whom I get my knowledge. Okay? And he became a devotee. Okay? Lord Chaitanya, hindi siya kagaya ng mga naririnig nyo. Kasi dito kaya nga dinescribe dito na yung mga topic about politics, about yung mga salita-salita lang dyan, hindi talaga siya makaka-purify. Kasi hindi transcendental. Kaya makikita nyo ngayon, anong ginagawa nila? Di ba? Lahat nagmamagaling Mas magaling sila dito, kaya ang salita nila, it's all about feeling higher than everyone. Okay? Sila ang tama. Okay? Kaya yun, may effect yun ng mode of passion. Okay? Kaya contaminated. So, gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo lahat dito, na God Himself, He showed yung example how to relate with the disciplic succession. Paano kayo makikipag-relate ba? It means you must be sincere. So when Lord Krishna tells us, find a bona fide spiritual master, He's giving us advice so how we can be protected. And that protection is based upon how Lord Chaitanya accepted in humbleness yung instruction ni Lord Krishna, because the spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. Okay? Hindi siya duplistic ba? So when you come in contact with this path, itself is so purifying that you will see in your heart na yung struggle mo to fend off, alam mo yung to fend off? Yung sinasabi niyong tukso, yung mga sinful na yan, you begin to realize that it's Krishna, the Supreme Person, who protects you. You will lose taste upon this dead world. Okay? And then you'll be feeling in your heart humbleness. Lord Chaitanya is feeling so much humbleness. Okay? In spiritual life, the highest is the lowest. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, yung person who can fall down upon his head, okay, feeling unqualified, is the highest because he can take shelter and protection from God. So, ang tanong sa atin, ano yung gagawin natin protection? Will we humbly submit ourselves and fall down upon someone who loves us unconditionally, or you will try to protect yourself? Not yourself, your world, yung false ego mo. Okay? And how do you do that? With your mind. Kaya, yung effect nun, when you try to defend yourself, you'll be feeling higher. Okay? But because you're not God, you're not self-sufficient, you will fail. So yun ang gusto kong sabihin sa inyo. And following the instruction ng spiritual master will give us a connection with the Lord within the heart. Like yung sinabi kong dalawang ibon, yung isa nanonood lang eh. Sabi ni Lord Krishna sa Bhagavad Gita, from me comes remembrance and forgetfulness. Who gives you remembrance? God. Who gives you forgetfulness? God. When you try to do your own will, to stay away from that love and care of the transcendental world, you're here now, okay? You're all alone, okay? And to be able to falsely, in illusion, try to enjoy something that is not real, who takes away your intelligence? Because you have your own will, your own freedom. May freedom kayo eh. So para ma-enjoy mo yung in short, para ma-enjoy mo kumain ng tae, okay? Hindi mo alam tae yun. Okay? Naintindihan nyo? Para to be blunt ba? Kasi mahirap pa ikot-ikot eh. Okay? Who gives you that ignorance? Ignorance, ha? You will be subjected by the modes of material nature. Okay? You will be seeing things differently, not clearly. Like for example, you're not understanding, you're not the mind, you're not the body. But if you are aware through the process of purification, you'll understand, wala pala, nandito pala ako, I'm wasting my time trying to find happiness in something that is different from me. Matter. And why am I so much trying to push it, okay? To succeed. To have water in the desert, to taste water in the desert. Bakit? Because of ignorance. Who puts you in ignorance? Okay, God gives you what you want. Yun ang point. Until you come to the point na enough, nasa desert ako, hindi lang ako nauwaw, namamatay na ako. Okay? Walang happiness. And I'm going crazy. Mapansin nyo, when one is forced by an energy very powerful, matinding pagnanasa, lust, you'll be burning with anger, with wrath. You lose your intelligence. Hindi ka makapag-decide ng tama. You lie. You know? You're not able to accept, I am sinful. Okay? I'm sinful, I'm lost, I have no direction. Please protect me. Yun ang natural natural position natin to be completely dependent upon God's love, God's care. Okay? Pero hindi nyo tatanggapin yun. kung desire-driven kayo sa mind. Kaya ang process sa Kali Yuga is the chanting of the holy names. Because Lord Nityananda and Lord Krishna touches your heart. The more you chant and dance, the more you sing, the chanting of the holy names, Lord Nityananda will be embracing you, touching the core of your heart. Because you're will be longing to please God. Yun ang point, to be pleasing God. Gusto mo, my dear Lord, when will that day come when my life is simply working to please you? Sa mundo na to, baliktad. Gusto natin i-please yung sarili natin. Pero hindi naman yung sarili natin yung senses. You're not the senses. You're not the body. Okay? It's a misdirection. So it's a science you must clearly understand. But yung science na to, it's open to all of you. Because Krishna himself comes and he will be the driver of our life. But you must follow the path that Lord Chaitanya treaded. Ibig sabihin nun, kung anong ginawa ng spiritual master ni Lord Chaitanya, we must follow that footstep. And it's based upon humbleness, humility. Lord Chaitanya is non-different from Krishna. He knows everything. The cause of all causes. But he comes here to taste what is sweet. Okay? How come Radharani, the devotees in Vrindavan, the gopis, how come they're simply serving and loving me? Okay? So, he wanted to taste that pleasure of rendering service to him. He comes as Nitai Lord Chaitanya. Okay? Lord Chaitanya, Radha and Krishna combined. Yellow in complexion and chanting the holy names of God in loving separation. Kaya nga, when you look at the face of Lord Chaitanya, it purifies your heart. It connects you with what you're longing for, the water you're searching in the desert. And it comes when the sound that we utter or salitain natin is the sound of life, the source of life, the source of love, Krishna, the cause of all causes. So the holy names is invested with all transcendental powers. It is non-different from God, as what we have described through the lives of the saintly person. Yesterday, we were discussing about Ajamila, okay? See, Ajamila, he fell down from this position of trying to culture or engage in spiritual life because he was polluted by simply perceiving through with his senses. His heart has been polluted, okay? He now became a spirit soul who is engrossed in this material world. But because he uttered the names Narayan or non-different from Krishna, okay, he goes back again to Krishna. So yun ang point. Lahat ng ginagawa nyo rito is already decided. Decided because that path na sinusunod nyo has been treaded or walked on by the saintly person. They all succeeded. So ngayon, ano yung formula nyo para maibsan yung desert? Yung uhaw na yan. Ang sabi ni Lord Chaitanya, chant the holy names. Ang sabi ni Ishvara Puri, kay Lord Chaitanya mismo, chant the holy names. At ang sabi ni Srila Prabhupada, chant the holy names. So yung ginagawa nyo dito, if you appreciate it, you are establishing again a loving relationship with Krishna by following obediently your spiritual master. So when you do that, Krishna himself will be the one to protect you from all these material desires na gumagapang ka. Okay? Kasi look clearly, simply yung sinasabi natin, dinescribe doon, the chanting of the holy name purifies one's heart. Alam ba nyo, karamihan ng mga bago nag-chant, it's very hard to control cigarette smoking. Okay? Meat eating, lahat yan. Ang hirap. Illicit affair, ang hirap niyan. But when they chanted the holy names, it immediately wash out. Wah, bakit? Hindi man lamang ako nag-struggle. Gunitan yung talian yung kamay ko o lagyan ng zipper yung bibig ko para hindi ako magsigarilyo. Okay? Nawala yung attraction mo. Makikita mo, dati-dati, nakikinig ka sa mga music nila, yung You got a friend, alam mo yung mga kanta na yan, mga kanta ng mga musikero. Then immediately, yung mind mo, wala ka na attraction. Wala ka na attraction kina Bob, kina, sino ba yan? Sino-sino ba yan? Basta wala ka na attraction. Maski yung mga kanta nila, The Greatest Love of All, unsa ba na? Kasi it's all material sound. Material sound connected with this miserable world. Kaya mas anong kanta mo, The Greatest Love of All, kaya ngayon kumanta nagpakamatay na lang eh. Di ba? Di ba yung kumanta ng Greatest Love of All? Nasaan siya? Di ba? Diniliver na yung katawan niya. Sa punerarya. Matagal na, nilibing na. Okay? Hindi ba nyo nakikita sino yung master ni Maya? Si Krsna. Bago ka makapasok sa spiritual world, hindi ka makakapasok basta-basta doon with your yung gross material energy. Okay? Akala mo bright ka, imaniobra mo, hindi ka makapasok doon. It's a different energy. Para makapunta ka lang sa Brahman effulgence, yung effulgence ng Supreme Person, okay? Effulgence, na ang source nito, material energy. Para makapasok ka doon, you must be in a way, experiencing a transcendental experience of purity. Okay? So, para makapasok ka doon, ang hirap. Pero si Krsna na mismo ang bumaba. Kaya lang, He knows you. He knows your heart. He knows your intent. Kaya nga, pinakita ni Lord Chaitanya how to relate to God. Okay? You must be feeling lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than the tree, and devoid of all sense of false prestige. Hindi siya pumunta kay Ishvara Puri, oy, ako ang pinakamagaling na debater. Okay? Sabi sa kanya, Ishvara Puri, you're less intelligent, hindi ka matalino. Okay? Kulang yung talino mo. Mag-chant ka ng Hare Krishna mantra. And he's telling that to God. And Lord Chaitanya, appearing as an ordinary person, he followed that. And through the 8 prayers of Lord Chaitanya, pinakita kung ano yung success. Okay? Sa beginning pa lang, sabi ni Lord Chaitanya, sa teaching niya, the prime benediction for humanity at large is the holy names of God. It's what we are longing for. We are anxious. Okay? It gives us a connection with the source of happiness. Kung yung mind ang gagamitin mo, mahirap. Kasi sabi na may unsa man na. Okay? Parang sinabi ko sa inyo, oy, lami kayo ni cake ko. Gihimo sa akong mama. Ni mami, gihimo niya. Nag-bake siya ni cake. Na adiri pistachio nut, na almond nuts, chocolate, organic chocolate, lahat. Lami kayo, honey ang gigamit. Tapos pag tinignan nyo, ngano itum na. Okay? Unsa man na. Di ba? Halimbawa, yung bata na pumunta rito, may bata kasi kapon eh. Sabi mo, day, cake niyo, lami kayo. Kung saan, itom man na, oy. Daghang man na mo. Pag muuli ko, makita na ako sa dalan. Mga tae sa kabaw, itom. Murag tae, siguro na sa pareho lang, di ba? So to enter that world, God Himself is so kind. Okay? Masi ayaw mo, He comes. It's just like the rain. It rains everywhere, okay? Hindi sasabihin ng rain, di lang umuulan sa Kibawe, kaya di rin nag-chant mga tao, di na ako umuulan dito. Okay? Hindi ganon. It rains in the desert. It rains in the ocean. Di ba? Hindi naman kailangan ng ocean ng tubig. It rains everywhere. So, wag natin gamitin yung maliit nating utak and try to put God in the box. Okay? Because we're not God. Yun ang point doon. We must appreciate, kagaya nyo, di ba? Lahat kayo individual dito, you have your choice. Meron kayong decision making, di ba? Lahat kayo meron? Pwede nyo sabing, dili. Okay? Okay. Di ba? Why will you deny that with God? Okay? In decision making. Okay. He's a person like you, but He's all-powerful. What you see here is for God's pleasure. Ang naging problema lang, we try to find pleasure in what belongs to God. And our true position is we are eternally dependent upon God. We are not self-sufficient. Kaya hanggat hindi natin natatranscend yung ganong consciousness, then we'll have a hard time with our life. We'll be in the desert. Is it understandable, Radha? Nakirinig mo? So, ang gagawin mo lang, follow yung instruction. Hindi kailangan maging matalino. Okay? Gawin mo, narinig mo, sabi ng nagmamahal sa'yo ni Krsna, ng spiritual master, chant the holy names. And then, pinakita niya kung saan si Lord Krsna, nandun lahat yung pure devotees. Nandun lahat yung pure devotees. Vrindavan. And all the spiritual master are their devotees. They're not attracted to this world. Their only attraction is to be staying under the lotus feet of Krsna. Just like yung mga swan, yung mga ducks, yung mga bees, nandun sila sa lagoon. Okay? They enjoy swimming there. So yun yung devotees. Tayo, life, we're enjoying in pupu. Intindihan niyo? Kaya huwag kayong magtataka, anong gawin nyo? Maligo kayo ng pupu, kumain kayo ng pupu, hindi kayo masaya. Kasi hindi ka naman pupu eh. Is it clear? I'm just speaking bluntly ba? Kasi kuminsan, naasar akong paikot-ikot eh. Ngayon, gusto ko lang sabihin yung para maging aware ka ba? Okay? We're offering you something. Krishna is offering you something. Okay? Taste it. Open the bottle of honey. Okay? Taste it. And it's sweet. Kasi matagal naman kayo na-experience kung ano yung desert. At gumagapang naman. Actually, hindi na kayo gumagapang. Patay na kayo spiritual. Patay na kayo. Living dead na ba? Kaya pag sinabihan kayo, ang hirap pumasok, hindi sa kukote nyo, kasi may covering eh. Yung sinful activities natin sa yung desire. Okay? Is it clear? So basahin ko to para magkaroon tayo ng idea. Last na. To be continued tomorrow. Devotional service rendered to me by the living beings revives their eternal life. O my dear damsels of Braja, your affection for me is your good fortune, for it is the only means by which you have obtained my favor. So it's very hard to please Krishna, okay? Because when you become an unalloyed devotee of Krishna, then Krishna will put his life in your hands, although he's in control. Like Lord Krishna relates to Mother Yasoda, as a baby, okay? Mother Yasoda protects Krishna, okay? Embrace Krishna, okay? With closed eyes, Mother Yasoda embraced him, and that love that Mother Yasoda has for Lord Krishna is fulfilled with the warmth of Krishna's love. So dito sa mundo na to, it's very cold. It's a cold world when you're separated from fire. Okay? Yung fire na yon, it's the warmth of Krishna's love. It's there. Halimbawa, hindi ba galing kayo you go to a place, Boy Scout kayo, di ba? Boy Scout kayo. Ang lamig, umuulan. Nanginginig kayo, sindi tayo ng apoy, okay? Pag sindi ng apoy, lahat kayo, ganun yung kamay, okay? Yung iba magtusok ng pandesal, sunog-sunugin, okay? Para ma-experience yung warmth, kumain, okay? Yung iba mag-init ng tubig para uminom ng Milo, okay? Okay? Yung warmth na yun na you're longing for is the source of life, Krishna. Ang problem natin, you're embracing this dead world. Okay? That's why it's very cold, lifeless. Kaya Lord Chaitanya comes and the spiritual master, the Lord within the heart, assisting us, embracing us ba? Ngayon, we should make this decision not to follow the mind. Because when you follow the instruction of Lord Krishna, you experience this joy within. Okay? And Krishna protects you because He loves your love. You give pleasure to Him when you render service. Okay. Is it clear? So following the footsteps of the spiritual master is following the footsteps of the resident of the spiritual world. Siya yung pina-follow niya. So kalimutan na nyo, into na nyo, enough na. Okay? Okay? Tama na, hindi kayo si Beyonce, hindi kayo si, sino ba yan? Beyonce, okay? Bounce ba? Beyonce na yan. Hindi kayo si Koreano na yung apat na, hindi apat marami na sila ngayon na naging nakaganon, di ba? Na hindi nagsasalita. Di ba? Puro lang sayaw-sayaw. Na? Hindi mo alam kung ano yung nasa utak nila. Tama na. Okay? You're in a world which is very cold. So when you're disconnected with the source of life, the source of that warmth, of that love, you're a very lonely person. And that loneliness will be your shackle. Kasi maghahanap ka ng happiness sa mundong madilim na malamig. Hindi mo na kailangan pumasok sa bilibid, humawak ng rehas na malamig dahil nakakulong ka na. Intindihan niyo? So it's all about Krishna reminding us that time that is given to us, this body, we should take this opportunity to be very close to Him. And if you do that, Krishna will be there to embrace you. Okay? That even now, if you can appreciate how much Krishna loves you, okay? So don't throw away yung love na yon. Don't throw away the holy names. Kasi yun lang yung magkoconnect sa inyo. Kaya the more you make progress, the more you sing and dance. Just like yung mga swan, saka ducks sa pond, they swim and dance, di ba? Saya nila. Yung bees. Okay. The devotees are like that. They're always sheltered by the lotus feet of Krishna. They never go out of that world. So ngayon makikita nyo, nasaan kayo? You ask you, where am I? Who am I? Why am I here? Okay. Then, nasa inyo na yan, kung anong gusto nyo gawin. Okay? Is it clear? Kaya dapat, you must have this meaningful prayer to focus upon the third prayer of Lord Chaitanya. Okay. You enter that world, then you'll be protected because Krishna will be the one to drive everything, your life. You'll be connected with the protection He's giving. So doon kayo dapat mag-focus. Yun yung kaya kayo nandito sa time na to. Because time and time, then somewhere along the line, will part ways. But the lotus feet of the spiritual master is not different from his teaching. It's not different from the teachings and love of Krishna. So, it is living knowledge. When you understand it, you realize it, you may leave your body anywhere, anytime, it will not be lost. Is it clear? Lahat yan, lahat ng sinusubukan nyo i-protect, lahat yan maiwan nyo. Cellphone nyo, yung yaman nyo, yung pinapakita nyong kagalingan nyo, sa pagsisinungaling nyo, lahat yan iwan nyo. Wala kayong tatago. Kasi ang ending yan, lahat ng pinoprotektahan nyo, iwan nyo. Ang pinoprotektahan nyo, yung dominion nyo. Control. Senses. Manipulation. Is it clear? Then you must be guided by the Lord within the heart. And it's about a connection in sincerity, surrendering. Lord, please, don't leave me. Okay? You pray, when will that day that I will be just simply rendering service to you without any consideration? That is your focus every day. And then when you are in that mood of surrender to Krishna, you will lose taste. You will be protected. Because it's like you are with a fire, yung warm. Okay? You're very cold, nanginginig ka, lapit ka sa fire, you experience that warmth. And what is that warmth all about? It is His love, His care for you. Kaya ma-appreciate mo yon when you make progress in your practice of devotional service. And then it becomes spontaneous sa buhay mo. That's your life. The moment you wake up, the moment you sleep, is all about that relationship that is inseparable, that can never be taken away from you. Kaya all you have to do is to cling to that, okay? Ang description sa akin ng six sa guru ko, instructing spiritual master ko sa akin, when you're given this opportunity, you must be like the pit bull ba? Di mo buhian, okay? But you can only do that when your heart is connected with this transcendental relationship. And it's being given to all of you. Lord Chaitanya, the Holy Name. Is it clear? So, wag na kayong mag-isip, ano ba yung solusyon? Ano ba yung formula? The formula is the absolute truth. The holy names of God. The cause of all causes. Okay? That's why nga yung relationship, only God can relate to everyone because He's in everyone's heart. And He's, hindi. Kaya nga ang description, although a lot of emanation comes from Him, He still remains the complete balance. Okay? 1 minus 1, 1 pa rin. Okay? He expands. Kaya nga dinescribe, maintindihan mo na yung pastimes ni Lord Krsna when your mind has become, when you yourself has become freed from this illusion. You can understand that when Lord Krsna married 16,000 wives, how can He do that? Okay? Hindi mo kaya yon. Okay? Pwedeng magkaroon ka ng, alam mo, 10 mistress, okay? Kagaya ng mga politician who are promiscuous, kiniyabang nila, meron silang 78 na anak, okay? But Lord Krsna expanded Himself into 16,000 Krsna. And each palace, nandun siya. Just like the Paramatma is in your heart, in my heart. He's always with you. Because God has inconceivable potency. Kaya pag nag-make ka ng progress sa spiritual life mo, yung doubt mo about God, mawawala. Kasi doubt comes from your covering. Covering na of your Lordship. You become convinced without a doubt. Okay? Without a doubt. When you read, you hear, it's true. You're not dealing with Krsna anymore with this, alam mo yung parang a separation. No, hindi na ganun. Because you're completely surrendered. Your heart. Your life is Krsna. Your life is your spiritual master instruction. You're protected. Kasi you see now, the truth will set you free. Freedom from what? Following the dictates of the mind. Freedom from illusion. So yun ang dapat lang yung gawin. Be faithful, be obedient. Kasi yung resistance comes from Maya. Sabi ni Lord Krsna, just surrender unto me. Sabi ni Maya, no. Okay? Surrender, don't follow. Follow me. So I can kick you. Okay? So that's what happened. Okay? Follow Maya, then you get kicked. Okay? You're lost in this dark world. Is it clear? To enter the spiritual world, we must connect our heart, our life, from the instruction of Lord Krsna and the spiritual master. Simple as that. Okay, yun ang formula. So let's chant the holy names. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Krishna Nayanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vatsade Gaurata Vrinda. Haribol.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vatsade Gaurata Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana. Everybody sing loud and loud. Haribol.
Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Haribol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala
Haribol. Krishna Nitai Gaur Haribol.
Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Haribol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol Nitai Gaur. Haribol Shri Prabhupada.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Haribol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol.
Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Haribol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. 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 Haribol. Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine.